Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to do another coding exercises. So we would like to write a function that does the multiplication of two double numbers. Previously, we learned how to multiply two numbers. However, using a function can help us to have a more efficient code. So we don't have to repeat a certain block of code repeatedly throughout our main function in order to perform a specific task for us. Using a function, we can define the function once and use it several times in the code, so it is more efficient. To do that, we learned before the int main function, if we want to have another function, there are two tasks that we need to take care of. So the first one is that we must declare the function before the int main function. So here we are declaring it. And also we need to define the function. But for definition of the function, we have the choice. Either we can define the function before the int main function, or we can do it afterwards. It's up to you. So in other exercises, I showed how we can only declare it above and define it in the after the int main function and use it in the main function. However, here I'm declaring and defining before the main function. And there are three things, if you remember, about a function that we understand from this line. So the first thing is its name, that is multiply. The second thing is within the parentheses, we learn how many input parameters it has and what are their data types. So here we learn there are two parameters as the input that this function requires to run, and the data types are double, and both of the inputs are double. Finally, the third thing about the function, we learn the output of the function. So the output of this function would be a double as well. So this is its declaration, and within the bracket, we will have the definition of the function. So this function is going to return x times y. So these two inputs are being multiplied using this function. And we have the return. Why? Because the output is doubled. So if anything but void is the type of the output of the function, there should be a return here. But if the function is a void function, there must not be a return here. So having said that, let's come back here in the int main function. So we would like to call the function in our main function. So I declare a double called result, and I assign the value of it by calling the function. I call the multiply function, and within the parentheses, we learned that this function requires two inputs that are doubled. So these two double number are also considered as the input of this function, and the output of this function is going to be assigned to result. Finally, we are going to print the result to see the output. Let's run the program once. So we see the product is 9. So this function, the analyze of code, would be something like this. Here we are calling the function with these two values. When we call them, the program goes up here and it says, okay, multiply 4.5 and 2, and let's return the value of 4.5 times 2. So it returns the value, and the returned value is assigned to result. So this is how a function would work. So one exercise for you could be how to change this double function, the output of this function is double, to a void function. I would suggest pause the video now and think about it. And if you have already thought about it, now you may continue. In order to do that, we we just replace double with void, and we forget about the return. We say int z equals, for example, y. And we simply just see out the value z here. Okay? Doing that, we don't even need this, and we don't even need this. So the code is even more efficient here. So it depends on what you want to do. But you see the code is very clear now. And let's see. Okay. So now everything works and the function uh, has changed to a void function. So more blocks are here. So we added one line and we changed the code in this line. However, our int main function is very clean. So if we want to do multiplication several times, like here, sorry, like here, and then here, we change the value, for example, 7, 9, 10, something like this. And we say the output of multiply function is. Okay. So instead of doing the calculation 4 times, I'm only calling the function 4 times. Let's see. Okay. So here we see that it is printing the output for us. So now every time that we call the multiply, it gets these two values in the parentheses and then do the multiplication here and print it. So the first time when it's 4.5 and 2, it says, okay, 4.5 times 2, it will be assigned to z, which is 9, and then we print the 9. So this code is done. This line is executed. Then we have 7.5 and 5. It goes back up again. It says, okay, 7.5 times 5 will be assigned to z, which will be 37, and we're printing the 37. And it continues until the end. So you see how efficient it would be to write only a function that does the job for us instead of just repeating all of these blocks of codes again and again. So please don't forget to do the exercises yourself to get used to the syntaxes of how a function should be written and how a function would work.